Hi there. We bless God for another day. To God be the glory. Now let's take a quick look at this.
You were trying to tell me something before.
What?
Earlier, in the lift, before the Nothosaurus went all crazy. It seems super important.
It was. The truth is, Sammy,
Now take a key look at how they are doing it and how they want to teach children on how to subliminally or subtly be involved in this LGBTQIA thing.
fallen for you. Like, hard. Real hard.
I know. I heard you earlier. I just wanted to hear you say it again because I've been wanting to hear you say that since I don't even know when.
This is the kind of cartoons your children are going to be watching. A girl and a girl kissing. Already they have been showing this kissing thing, but now they are taking to the next level. So you are going to see whereby the other children were happy, shouting and jubilating.
Yes. Guess what?
Nothing. Maybe we should go.
Yes! You two are finally official!
You know, I tried to give you a moment, but these two are nosy.
How Satan is learning children, part 3. This is the LGBTQI gender, QIA plus and all of those things, and Satan wants to be your friend. Believe you saw the title of the video as I even just said it. We saw the opening video. This is a kids movie that they have started showing children on public TV. And I remember even Disney who held a meeting whereby they said they were going to revisit all their old cartoons and change them to include the LGBTQIA community. There is a question. As a people, as a church, especially Christians, what are we doing? These are the kind of cartoons that your children have been, or they have started watching, or they are being exposed to. It's not everything that is healthy for us to see, even as adults, and how much more these kids. There are some of us that we are too busy for these children. And first thing, mommy is playing, or mommy is busy with the phone, that is busy on the laptop. They tell the kids, go watch TV, go watch cartoons. And not looking or minding what kind of cartoons that child is being exposed to. So, this is a cartoon and they are showing how two genders, same genders, female and female coming together, one expressing love to the other. So, what kind of mind control is being given to these children? So sad, one of them is even called Sammy. That is the one who is being proposed to. And look at how the other children were even cheering up. They were so happy. They are really mind programming us. There is an agenda to mind control and mind program our kids. Now let us go on. Let's see more of this.
My name is Jim. I'm a man. I have a hot girlfriend. I've always played sports. I have a cool car. Okay, so technically it's my mom's, but whatever. Anyway, that's me. But my girlfriend, Cassie, she sees the world as way more complicated than that, in ways I don't understand. Like today, after basketball practice, Cassie asked me if I'd give her a ride to the mall so she could run in for a few things. But I hate the mall. It just depresses me, so I waited in the car.
Now, the first thing, what is being promoted here? Boyfriend, girlfriend. And all these are cartoons. Sexual immorality that is being displayed here. So, they are building on something. Have you wondered why the enemy is so much capitalizing on sexual immorality? Why he is so much promoting sex to these kids, to these children? Because This is one of the ways that demons can have access, especially the major target that demons can use to suck energy out of people, especially children. Have you wondered why anytime God is mentioning evil things or sins in his word, the scriptures, the first thing God mostly mentions is fornication, sexual immorality? And out of the many sins that God asks people to be careful of, there was one he says, flee youthful lust. Now, he spoke of fleeing youthful lust in the book of Timothy. He didn't say pray against it, because God knows the power at which lust operates. Now, the Bible tells us that resist the devil and he is going to flee. He is going to flee from you. But here came the subordinate of the devil, and the Lord is telling us that we should flee from him. So the things that God has told us to flee from, now the devil is painting them so nice to us so that we keep on embracing them. This is where the world is heading towards to. In fact, this is where we are in the world. And parents love it this way, because we are not concerned, because we ourselves are guilty. Because you see a father, you see a mother, and yet the person has a side chick. Is cheating on the parent, the other partner. So what moral right does such a parent have to even carry their child? Now let us go on and see what they are actually driving at.
So what did he get?
Just some stuff.
Jeez, Cass, do you really need more clothes? This girl does not need more clothes.
It's not for me. It's for a friend.
That's weird. Why?
Because she feels embarrassed shopping for herself.
Why would she feel embarrassed about buying clothes?
Because, well, she was born male-bodied, but she doesn't identify as a boy. She's always felt like a girl, so she asked me to buy some clothes for her to help her dress in a way that expresses how she feels.
What?
Don't worry about it. Let's go home.
This stuff is for a guy who wants to dress up as a girl?
No, a transgender person, meaning their body doesn't match their gender identity.
Gender identity? What are you talking about, Cass? If you have a penis, you're a guy. If you have a vagina, you're a girl. It's that simple.
It's not that simple. Someone's gender identity is not determined by what genitals they have. Sure, most people identify with the gender they were assigned at birth, like you were born with a penis and identify as a boy. That's called cisgender.
Why would anyone...
Now, this then is being a story of someone who is a male but wants to identify as a female, and see the manner in which it is being displayed through the kids. That maybe I'm staying with my parents and I want to change my gender identity, but I don't want them to know. I just have to get some friends or somebody that I can really share that thing with, so that person can get me close, in which I will start identifying that kind of so-called gender that I want to be. And so subliminally, from the video, they are showing whereby the other person is opposing, indicating that if you're having a penis or having a vagina, that shows your real gender. And he said it doesn't matter. So the whole thing is, they know they cannot rule out this fact that our sexes is being identified by our genitals, because even when a woman is pregnant and goes to take a scan, one of the ways that they use to check or identify the gender of the child or the baby, that unborn child, is by the genitals. So they know that fact, and they know it cannot be ruled out, but yes, they are planting something in the minds of people.
Want to be transgender.
No one chooses their gender. Gender identity is a person's internal sense of being male, female, or sometimes something else altogether. This friend feels like they're in the wrong body.
Who is this friend?
I promised I wouldn't tell.
Cass, you can't just say, hey, I bought women's clothes for some dude and then not tell me who it is.
It's not for some dude.
Why are they asking you to do this for them? Why don't they get their mom to go shopping or something?
It would be great if they could open up to their parents about being transgender, but it can be scary to tell people when you don't know how they might react. That's why it's good she has a friend like me.
You're too nice to weirdos, Cass. I definitely wouldn't be friends with someone like that.
Well...
I know them. Is it Joseph? Adam? Maddie B? Jake? Glenn? Glenn?
Jim.
Glenn Davis?
Now look at it. The person in question here has parents. And the guy, that is the boyfriend, is saying to the girlfriend that, why wouldn't they ask the parents, the mom or the dad, to get it for him? But instead, some things, it will be hard for you to open up to the parent. So, you see what they are first doing here? They are making a case to understand the fact that choosing such kind of nature is going to go against the already set up nature by God. So your parents are not going to take it. So what do they have to do? They are first implanting to them that they can rule out the aspect of parenthood. Already parents have taken themselves out of the scene because we are all busy chasing money. All that now parents think they know how best to do is to just buy food, buy clothes, take their children to school, maybe get on the phone, buy them clothes and other things that do not matter. They are not concerned about the well-being of these children, what actually they are into. As a minister of the gospel, I have come in contact with so many people, so many children that are dying within. And you want them to ask yourself that, do they have parents? I've come to meet people that were lesbians and they were initiated into this by people that were close by. Some of them were house help, some of them were people, family friends, and people that lived around. And you ask yourself, they have been in it for years. How come their parents or even pastors are not aware?
I've known him since preschool.
I'm so bad with secrets. Don't tell anyone. I promised Glenda.
Glenda?
That's the name she wants to use now.
There's no way I'm being friends with Glenda.
How can you say that? We were just talking to her this afternoon. Sure, she was dressed in boy clothes and you called her Glenn, but...
Well, we're not talking to them anymore.
Hey, I'm at the mall. Can you come pick me up?
Fine! Leave! What Cass said couldn't be true, but now that I think about it, Glenn's always been kind of different. Or, I don't know. Like I said, Cassie makes everything too complicated. If you have a vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a... Jim? I kind of thought I'd find you here. I remember we used to play here when we were little. Cassie told me about your fight. She says you're a girl now?
Let's see. The guy is playing a role here where at first he seems to be resistive. Look at this. There is an agenda. There is a way these people or the devil presents his thing for it to be accepted. First, he has to take the step. And in the taking of the step, he has to make sure people will start fighting against it. They can say a whole lot of things that they want without taking actions. Because the best many people in this world can do now is just talk. When there's an issue, that is the best thing we can do. Now with time, the thing begins to die off and people gradually, unconsciously begin to consent to that same evil that they once spoke against or stood against. So look at the many evil things that have been accepted in our society as a norm. At first, when it came up, you see people were lambasting it, they were blasting it, they sat on media, they discussed it, they said a whole lot of things. But now what has happened? It has been accepted. So that is the same thing. So the guy here is playing the role of many of us that are resisting it. Many people that are felt they didn't want to buy into this noise that no. Then we have the other two parties, that the one who has chosen to become that totally different person, and the other one that has accepted. Who brought the conversation? The one that has really accepted. Now somebody is resisting here. Let's see. Now then the other person that has changed the identity or the nature comes in to explain the reason why he or she, the reason why he has changed his identity as from being a male to being a female, saying that he has been a female from within. What is within? The portals and doors are being opened for demons to have access to these children and people. So somebody is there thinks like, for instance, I someone then I think that I hear a certain voice telling me, you are not Samuel, you are called Anastasia. Then I start feeling, oh no, I am not a male, I am Anastasia. What is that? Now imagine physically, you know somebody, the person comes tell you that I am not this, I am this. What will you say? You will say the person is crazy, the person is mad. Is that not madness? Madness being accepted as a norm. But remember, to every madness, there is a spirit behind it. So there is a spirit that is speaking from within. But in the first place, how did that spirit or that entity get in there? Because the person was exposed to something. So he is explaining. Now let's see how it is going to go. If this person that seems to be resisting eventually will come to accept it. Let's go.
I've always been a girl. No matter what you see me wearing, no matter what name people have been calling me, I've always been Glenda on the inside.
I don't understand.
I know it can take time to understand. That's why I'm taking my time and who I talk to about it. And that's why I need great friends like Cassie who accept me for who I am. I hope you can understand me someday, but until then, I hope you'll respect me enough to keep it to yourself for now. That's all I wanted to say.
Gender identity. Who I am always seems so simple to me. Basketball team, hot girlfriend, man. Sounds like for them, it was never simple. I guess it was brave to come here to talk to me. It took balls, or it took something. Glenda. I don't fully understand this, but sure, I won't tell anyone.
I don't fully understand this, but I hope one day I will. So, they are telling us that, yes, gradually we are going to accept it, and it seems it's true. So, some few distant years ago, many churches were against this, but let's go and see. Recently in South Africa, 2 Anglican priests got married, a man and a man. Go to churches in the Western countries, in US and UK and any of these advanced countries, and go and see. Churches have started accepting it. Many of the churches will respect, like Presby, Methodist, Anglican, you can name them. It's okay. They are wedding them LGBTQIA+, because they have subtly positioned or placed some of their people here in the churches. So you see in that video, the man was looking at the parents, and the parents were too busy. So how would they know that changes are happening in their home? Changes are happening to their child. They will never be aware. That is why, for instance, here in Ghana, when this LGBTQIA something became a mayhem here in the country, many parents were shocked to see people that many of their children coming out to say that, hey, this is who I am. I'm a gay, I'm a lesbian, I'm LGBTQIA+, and all of that ABCD alphabet. Somebody should wake Christians up. We have been dead long sleeping. And the enemy has come to sow tares among us, which has grown with us, and it is still growing. And it is fighting with us on the food that we are to feed on. So eventually, the guy accepts. He said, friends. Yes. Do you know the kind of friends that your children are keeping? The kind of people that they associate with? The kind of people that they play with? You have no idea. It's time for us to wake up and pay much attention to these children. I'm doing this video because a lot of children are dying. A lot of children are being exposed to a whole lot of nonsense. And parents, especially those that appear to be religious, seem to have no clue about what their children are going through. And the Church of Satan is taking much advantage. I believe you would have watched my video about that Church of Satan co-founder who had converted. And he will tell you, he was once a Christian. And a lot of people are trooping into Satanism, mostly Christians. What's happening? Now, let us see a video of a rhyme whereby, as I mentioned in my other previous videos about the After School Satan's Club, a song that they have made for these children. Let's take a look quickly.
Satan's not an evil guy. He wants you to learn and question why. He wants you to have fun and be yourself. And by the way, there is no hell.
Satan is not an evil guy. He wants you to learn and play. Can you imagine one day you are home and maybe your son, your daughter, or maybe your kids, or maybe your younger sibling comes singing, Satan's not an evil guy. He wants you to learn and play. Satan is not an evil guy. They are advertising Satan rightly to children. They are not ashamed, because Christians are ashamed of their faith and their God. After all, there is no hell. That's what they're telling their kids. There is no hell. So if there's no why mention it? So you see, they have placed it in a song for these kids. There is no hell. And the video started with a goat horned animal performance. What is a goat spiritually? Forget not that if you don't know, a goat spiritually connotes or is a symbol of stubbornness, rebellion. So what is being implanted in the heart of these children? Rebellion, because Satan rebelled in heaven. So you get it. They are telling you Satan is not an evil guy. So let's go on. He wants them to learn and play. So let's see what kind of learning and play.
Science is important, so we understand the world. Satan looks for truth. Let's help him, boys and girls. Satan's not an evil guy. He wants you to learn and question why. He wants you to have fun and be yourself. And by the way, there is no hell.
Science is important. Science, Satan, science, Satan. I don't have much time to talk about the issue of science. But what is the correlation between science and Satan? Why is it that science is so much against the God of heaven? But yet in many of these sci-fi or scientific movies, they show God. You discover that many of the scientists, have you thought of why the scientists even named the planet after gods? Venus, Mercury, Mars. These are names of Greek gods. And yet, some will tell you that there is no supreme God. But yet they believe in God's spirit. So Satan wants to learn. He wants to learn the truth. Which truth? So they have to help him, boys and girls. This is a rhyme that children are being taught. Satan wants to learn the truth. Really? That reminds me in the book of John. That says that ye are of your father the devil, and the last of your father ye will do. For he was a murderer from the beginning, and he is a liar and the father of it. And when he